if I keep going down this way, I'm probably gonna die.
What up, Brix Squad? Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 3 of the transformation series. I got my man Lucas, who lost 125 pounds. We had an amazing conversation and he gave you guys 3 very key tips to help you transform your body as well. And without further ado, let's get into the conversation. I'm here with my man Lucas, who, how much did you lose?
So I was 313, I'm down to 195, so 118 total, 118, and still going.
Look, I'm getting goosebumps, right? It's so easy to hear these stories, right? We hear these stories all the time of people who lose 100 pounds, 150 pounds, and it's so easy to just hear the numbers and not really realize how much time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifice and discipline and mental work and spiritual work that it takes to achieve something like that. So I definitely want to salute you, bro, because there are hundreds of thousands of people watching this right now who are trying to achieve something that you've done, man. So it definitely,
I appreciate that.
Definitely deserves some salute, man.
Absolutely,
for
man.
sure. Like me of all people, I know what it takes to get that done, and I definitely want to celebrate you right now in this moment.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
All right, so you said your heaviest was 313 pounds. How'd you end up 313 pounds, bro? How tall are you, first of all?
Like 5'9".
Okay, so you were 5'9", 313. How did that happen?
Man, so really you just kind of wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh. But just, I had to do some soul searching on myself. And childhood, I was pretty much heavy since 5, 6 years old. And didn't have the best childhood relationship with my parents. Was abused by a friend growing up. When I was probably 10, 12, I had an idiopathic kidney disease, which means they don't know what the cause of that is. So they had to put me on steroids. I gained 60 pounds doing that. And then I just, even when I was always heavy in high school, and then went to college, got out of control with drinking and partying and doing stuff, and just fell into depression. And really just, next thing you know, I looked at the scale and it's 313 pounds. I knew I was always kind of big, and when you're big at a young age, you just kind of accept that as like your identity. We kind of talk about reprogramming our beliefs and our identity, because that's so deep rooted. So I had to wake up and I'd see myself and I'd hate it, but I'd be like, yo, this is just you. You just fat Luke, or the big guy, the guy with man titties, or however it is.
So you felt like you were stuck. Yeah. This was your identity.
And I remember, exactly. And I remember just always being heavier. And then one day I looked at the scale and it was 313 pounds. And I would take it was really a self-love, man. I didn't love myself. And it was really all these coping mechanisms was food. Food was the comfort. Or I was always told I couldn't do something when I was a kid. So food was like, all right, like I'm just gonna eat that, or I'm gonna, eat what I want, so that was just it was a terrible coping mechanism, just like we all have these vices. I mean, food addiction is a real thing, man.
Oh yes. In the beginning, I looked at exercise like a chore, right? Oh. It was a chore. I looked at eating a healthy meal as like I'm sacrificing something in order to eat a healthy meal.
It's a gift, bro.
When really it is a gift, but it took a while for me to make that mental shift, right? So what was that process like for you, making that shift?
Man, it was a war zone. I mean, you battle every day to try to get it, but eventually over time, you just start learning and picking up things. I always thought that, I knew I wasn't gonna be overweight all my life. I knew I was gonna figure it out. And so I would always write down goals or things I want to achieve. And I mean, subconsciously, if you kind of keep your mind on what you want, subconsciously, your actions are gonna fall into place somehow, some way. But I think it was really just researching and doing a lot of, studying people like yourself, studying, people that are really telling the truth. And I think weight loss is very challenging, but it's actually simple. Like, the terms are simple, of just making sure you're getting the right nutrition, and making sure that you're staying active, making sure that you're taking care of sleep, that you're managing your stress levels, that you're not, you have to find that balance, but really just staying after it. I think the biggest thing was when I was 313 pounds, the biggest thing, I looked at that and I said, no more. Like, I made my mind up, I'm gonna go all out and just get what I need to get.
So what led you to that moment where you feel like you've hit your breaking point?
I think really it was just understanding that I didn't love myself, and seeing at 313 pounds at 5'9", I realized, and I was probably 20 something, young 22, I realized I'm gonna die if I stay up this route. And I always wanted to lose weight. I've been trying to lose weight since I was probably 15, 16. When it kind of hit you one day, you're like, oh my God, I'm really overweight. But you're young, you're naive, you don't really, you're still with mom and dad. You don't know what the hell, you can try, but it's a dogfight,
Yeah.
So at that point, I was 22 at 313 pounds, and I said, if I keep going down this way, I'm probably gonna die. So I'm gonna just give it everything I can and die trying to get down.
So did you have a moment with your physician? Did a doctor have a conversation with you about that? Like, how did you come to that realization that if you continue on this path that you were gonna die?
I think I always knew it, man. And it was just, I didn't care. It was like back to the self-love thing. Like you know what you're doing, and like when you're eating and you binge eat, right? Like you feel like shit after, and it's not like you don't finish. You're like, that was great, that was perfect. You're like, fuck me, and then you feel worse. You know what I mean? And then you go to bed or you do the next thing, and then you're like, well, shit. Like I still might as well binge again on something, or just. So it's a vicious cycle, man. If you want to ask me what broke it, man, I just think I got fed up with it. I just said, I gotta die trying to figure it out. Like I'm gonna go all in, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'm just gonna give it everything I can.
So how do you suggest people combating that urge for things to happen so quickly? How would you direct someone to acquire the patience that is necessary to transform their bodies?
I think it comes down to one, going in there with understanding that it's gonna take time, and it's gonna be it's really like a lifelong practice. Like if you don't just lose 30 pounds and 50 pounds and then say like, all right, I hit it and now like I'm back to me. You know what I mean? It's sustainability, what you can do to keep that momentum up that you're gonna carry with you as an evolved person moving forward. Then there's no timeline, because there is no end date, you know what I mean? But if you're going for vanity or for, those reasons to just like, oh, I gotta look good in the bathing suit, you lost. You kind of lost already.
It's never gonna be enough.
No.
It's not enough. And I learned that the hard way, because I've approached goals with those vain things pushing me, right? I wanna be able to fit in a size XYZ jeans, and it was never enough. It wasn't until it became a life or death thing for me. It had to become about my kids, and it's about something other than me. Right. Absolutely. So your why is super, super duper important. But back to the mindset piece, right?
Before you get on that though, I think I got this real quick.
Okay.
I think I knew we were talking about this. So let's talk about the why. So this is over 2 years old. This is my why. And I'll read some of this stuff off to you, and that's just, to feel healthier with less inflammation and lower blood pressure, to feel confident all the time, to enjoy the little things more, to learn values about mindfulness, awareness, consistency, discipline, hard work, learn how to cook delicious meals that are nutritious and healthy, understand and love deeper parts of myself, and that overall health is wealth. So you gotta realize, and the best part about losing the weight is people say like, oh, like Brix, you look good, you know what I mean? That's nice, but just feeling good. Just not being winded when I tie my shoes.
How did you develop self-awareness?
Man, so just cutting back on I used to just be drinking and partying. I think just kind of poor habits kind of led me down that way. But just being a little bit more in tune with myself, connecting with spirituality and my faith. I'm a huge journaler. I'm a huge meditate. I practice all these habits. Like these are a cornerstone of my foundation. I'm a huge 100%. Reader. Like I love these things. And so I think just more self-awareness, like just really trying to, I was possessed just to try to be the best version of me, period. I wasn't doing that. And I realized that like, I want to be this guy that helps people and inspires and motivates and educates. And I was like, you're not doing it yourself. Like talking to me, like I'm not, Lucas, you're not doing it yourself. So the audacity for you to get up there and start talking to other people, like you're kind of a joke, you know what I mean? Fat life coach on the stage, come on. You know what I mean? So I realized you have to be accountable, and you have to start with self-awareness. You have to start with learning the ropes and improving yourself. So just really trying to study up on things and just keep myself honest.
So one of the first adjustments you made was to just stop eating at night.
Yeah, I lost like probably 30 pounds, just like not eating so much crap at night.
Right, and you lost 30 pounds simply by stop eating at night.
Right.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, man, because a lot of us, I'm guilty of this as well. we try to go from eating fast food every day to trying to eat chicken breasts and broccoli and brown rice, and that never works.
Too, you know
but that never works. You know, those drastic approaches are not sustainable.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
so that's the thing.
What kept you motivated during the process?
Just knowing that I was never gonna give up, and I know that's such a cliche answer, and if you're like, well, what can I take from that? But just knowing that it's possible, that it really is possible, and I think having realistic goals and trying to meet them. And I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but just understand that if you gain a little bit of weight, it's okay. If you don't gain weight during those, you know, if you don't gain weight, but you don't lose weight in those couple of weeks, it's okay. Just taking it slow. It really is tough to do. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the hardest thing to just not to, because we want it so quick. But what kept me patient, what kept me focused, like I said, when I was 313 pounds, I thought I was gonna die in 20 years or less. So I realized I'm just gonna keep going no matter what, no matter how long it takes me. Like, I had the vision. I knew that I was never gonna stop. Like, I had my why and I had my vision.
For the person watching right now who is overweight, you know, they're 300 plus pounds, they're trying to find motivation. They're trying to find their next step. What do you suggest their first step would be in order to successfully get on the path to weight loss transformation?
The first step, I really just think it's sitting down and having an honest conversation with yourself. And just kind of like understanding where you're at on your journey. What are your goals? What is your why? How can we get there? And also incorporate values that you're gonna that you have, like, you know, like consistency or self-awareness, you know, or just like self-love. Just say, hey, you know, I value just having these little cornerstones. They help give you a foundation for where you want to go. But I think just being honest with yourself and figuring out what you want to do, why you want to do it, and then like seek help or support. There's tons of communities out there that would love to help you. And I think just being vulnerable and reaching out to people. I know it's hard with work-life balance, but you have to if you really want it, you have to prioritize health. I mean, my focus during this transition, this whole lifelong journey this was like the thing. This was like one of my top priorities in life. It was working on myself, working on my health, trying to, you know, improve my family and my relationships, and you know, working on my career.
So if I hear you correctly, sit down, have the conversation with yourself, and develop a strategy, right? Yeah. Develop some sort of strategy. Get the support, right? So if you can afford to hire coaching or a support group, right? I have the Brix Fitness Insiders. Yep. That is specifically designed for that, because a lot of people, they don't have the support at home. They don't have the accountability at home. That's what the Brix Fitness Insiders is designed to provide for people, right? So if you need information about the Brix Fitness Insiders, click the link in the description. I'd love to have you a part of the family, because that's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's a family of like-minded people who are going in the same direction. And we need support. We need accountability. It's key. What's your go-to tips when people are asking you, how do I lose weight, Lucas? Oh man, like, how do you lose weight? I mean, besides being like in a caloric deficiency. Yeah, I mean,
like in the simplest.
It's simple math, absolutely. Yeah. So what does that sound like when people ask you that?
All right, you're gonna laugh at this. Move. Just get up. Go for walks in the middle of your work week and stuff. Just just move around a little bit. I will go for a couple of like walks around the block every day after lunch. So you just move. Like going for a walk after a meal, that will pay dividends where you don't really think it will. Going to the gym, doing a little bit of cardio in there. You know, work your way up to what you can do. Challenge yourself. Break a sweat. Don't kill yourself. I mean, you know. Lift some weights. Make sure you're prioritizing form over heavy weights just to get the feel of it.
Yes.
Be consistent. And if you fall off 1 week or you know, that's fine. Just get right back to it. And then caloric deficiency, but the big one, I'll tell you right now, and you're gonna love this, it's not a surprise, whole foods. Stick to your whole foods, okay? Minimize the processed stuff. I know we love the chips, that was my thing.
Focus on eating whole foods. Yeah. And it's simple, right? Minimize the processed foods, like you said, move, right? I think walking is one of the most underrated tools for weight loss, bro.
Yep.
like to this day, I still depend on my walks to kind of help me maintain. So that's amazing advice, bro. I want to thank you for your time and for you sharing these parts of your journey, bro. It's been an honor, bro. Like you've been a supporter of mine for a long time. You pretty much, bought every program I've ever put out, man.
I support the vision, man. I sniff out integrity. This guy's got integrity. That's bottom line. I can tell when people BS. My man's he's just good. He's pure, he's real.
This was a dope conversation. I definitely appreciate the honesty. But let's go hit the gym real quick.
For sure, let's go.
I'm in.